I had probably one of the best childhoods a girl could ask for. You know, I was an only child, so I'm still very close to my parents. My whole family is so close. And I don't know, I spent my entire childhood with them. Like, my family is my childhood, and I couldn't have asked for it to be any different.
But not every relationship came so easily.
Friendships for me were always something I struggled with growing up.
One summer night after her junior year of high school, Megan found herself hanging out in her bedroom with her new boyfriend after a movie night with her friends.
He said to me, "Give me head."
She was sober. They both were.
And I just looked at him and I was like, "No."
Clear response.
He just unbuttoned his pants and grabbed my head and I couldn't get off of him. Like, he wouldn't let me up.
Now it's worth mentioning that Megan is petite, only 5'4", and this man had a full foot on her. It took all of her strength to get away from him.
He just got so angry and he shoved me, walked out of my house, and I went after him because I was still at this point not sure what the hell was going on.
She was never the most popular girl in high school.
I wasn't skinny, I was fat.
And the boys at the time, well, they only wanted one thing.
And everyone knows what that one thing is. I just thought he cared, but I don't think he ever actually did. I think he just knew exactly what to say, and that's really scary.
She couldn't quite wrap her head around what had just happened.
Because after it happened, I just didn't feel like a human.
And it took over a month for her to even begin to understand it.
But I almost didn't want to admit it to myself because it just made it too real.
And so instead, she ran after him.
We were standing by his car, and he was just started cursing me out and telling me to F off and all this stuff. And he just shoved me again and drove away, almost hitting me.
It did not end. She says that he showed up at her job after not hearing from her and tried to run her over again. Because this case was never tried in a court of law, I will not be releasing the identity of this individual. This story reflects Megan's recount of the events, and in order to reduce harm to both Megan and her family, he was not contacted.
You took something from me that I can never get back. You took my sense of safety. You can't ever get that feeling back. It's just gone.
A little while later, another boy who knew what happened tweeted.
He didn't understand why women got upset about rape and that it was a compliment.
And she responded.
You think that someone no longer having control over what is being done to their body is a compliment.
Something that plenty of college women experience. A group of guys going out that are a little too drunk and get a little too touchy. That in itself was enough to trigger Megan.
I remember just collapsing on her floor, shaking. And she was holding me and I just kept saying, "Not again, not again, not again." June 26, 2015 is the worst day of my life. And so I sometimes have to relive it. And that's the worst thing.
And what's worse?
He got away with it. There's no proof. There's no way I could have proved it in a court of law. So he's still out there, and he got away with it.
And so she relives that moment vividly again and again.
I remember every bit of it. I remember what I was wearing. I remember exactly what he was wearing. I remember what sheets were on my bed at that time. I remember what TV show was playing in the background. I remember it all. It's burned in my mind.
So what does that mean?
The one memory I want to forget is the one that I can't.
Reporting in Syracuse for NCC News, I'm Alex O'Toole.